Welcome back for the last part of building the Chocobo Ranch. This one is at least fairly simple. It's just the biggest part of the build, so it's a little longer for that. But overall, not too bad. It's fairly symmetrical too. It feels a little under-detailed by comparison to the house, but I mean, it kind of is in the game as well. This one I'm doing a little more similar to the Crisis Core design, just because it gives you a little more detail in that game to see a little bit more. The inside's completely based on the actual original Final Fantasy VII game. Yeah, I'm putting the hay bales here, and if you're wondering, yes indeed, they're exactly in the position where they would be in the game, because I'm taking it far too detailed. And this is largely just done from some screenshots in the original guidebook, and one screenshot from Crisis Core basically. Yeah, the yellow carpet works fairly well as a hay floor too. It matches the color pretty well, so that worked out nice at least. I have no idea what this stone thing is. It's like some sort of, I don't know, like I would assume it's like maybe like a horse grooming station kind of thing, but for chocobos, where you can tie up the reins to it. I don't know. It's there in the game, but it's not like you see it in use. It's kind of weird. There's just like two arches sitting in the middle of the building. I should have varied the floor more, but it really isn't varied in the game. You know, it's another one of those cases of like, do I add detail that didn't exist at the time? And I'm not entirely sure if I should or not. I mean, in some cases I do, in some cases I don't. I don't want to overdo it to the point it becomes unrecognizable as what it is, but at the same time, I don't want it to look bad in the Minecraft version, so I'm sort of trying to split the difference in these. Hopefully it works out well. I mean, then again, there's Chocobo sitting out front, so I don't know how somebody could mistake it for something else, but I don't know. I'm just trying to make it make some level of sense. I do like how the roof of the, I do, well, just the stalls in general, I do like how they turned out. This one I just did the plain white concrete. The building itself kind of feels like it would have been newer than the house. And with as large as the walls were, the variation looked a little too busy to the eye, so I just left it with just plain white. Hopefully that's not bad. I think it works out okay though. Never mind the awkwardness of the shadow that keeps going across it. I don't use Optifine anymore, so to get the world to stay in daytime so I can actually constantly build and actually have it visible, I use a redstone device to basically just keep resetting it back to day by command block. So that's why you get a day cycle, but it's not, but it never cycles into night, so it just goes back to morning again. That's why that keeps happening. Probably should have mentioned that a few videos ago, but oh well. It kind of keeps it a little more interesting. I don't know, while I'm actually building. Oh, the blue roof though. That is a Crisis Core thing. In the actual game, it was more like the red brick from the house. You could only really see it on the world map. You really didn't get that angle in the original game to actually see what the roof looked like. And in Crisis Core, it actually shows it as blue because it shows it from a different angle. I went with the Crisis Core coloring there because putting a brick roof on this large of a building did not turn out well like it did for the ranch house. It looked really busy. And that always seems to be like this weird, careful balance. Like, not enough detail and things are boring too much and it looks like eye vomit, so it's really hard to know where that line is sometimes. So just kind of go and hope. And that's also the other part of why I just left it as white concrete walls too, because it's the concrete for the blue as well. and I didn't want that to look too awkward. You know, if it's two different things, one simple and one complicated, smashed next to each other, it would just either make one look too busy or one look too simple. So it's kind of done to match that a little bit. Hopefully that works out. I think it did, but you know, whatever. Oh, and I like to build in these halves as well, so you can kind of, as it spirals around, you can sort of see in the inside how everything fits together a little bit. And then I just copy and paste to the other side because it's largely the same anyway. It's kind of funny though, this actually went through 3 designs, as simple as the ranch house was. I actually found my original one that I did years and years ago. I actually was trying to recreate a lot of the map. And I created, this was actually I think the first thing of any of it that I made. No, the second thing. But it was the first that actually came out somewhat close to it. But it was before concrete even existed. It was just terracotta, and it was okay. And then I remade a newer version of it, and then another version based on that one, which is the one that we see here. Just something weirdly satisfying of like just going back and forth, like filling in something like, I don't know, like it's just sort of like typewritering out, or that weird, you know, actually like a 3D printer. Those are massively satisfying to watch. That's what this always feels like to me. Boring as heck to anybody who'd ever watch, but I don't know, I find that kind of thing interesting. Simple but satisfying, I don't know. Just gotta come around. But the final thing comes out, I think, pretty close to what the game had. You have all the different stalls that you use throughout the game when you eventually get the race, and you get the, you know, all 3 parts of the ranch. I still think they're frying up the chocobos. I put the little icon on top. May as well be putting it on a bucket of KFC. You know that's what's going on in this place. But that is the Chocobo Ranch finished. I think it turned out okay. I'm happy with this one. So until I figure out what to do next, everyone have a good one.